Picture this. You wake up 200,000 years ago, naked, bleeding, no weapons. The sun is rising over a brutal landscape, and everything around you wants you dead. This is not a game. There are no tents, no maps, no tutorials. Just scorching heat, venomous creatures, disease-ridden water, and predators with jaws strong enough to crush bone. This isn't survival. This is a savage death trap. And it's where the first humans were born. Modern humans fantasize about escaping the chaos of cities and getting back to nature. But this nature? This wasn't some Instagram-friendly wilderness retreat. This was East Africa during the Pleistocene, a place of fire, drought, blood, and teeth. Archaeological evidence and genetic studies now confirm that early Homo sapiens evolved right here, in one of the most dangerous environments Earth has ever known. And somehow, they didn't just survive, they thrived. But you? You'd be lucky to make it to nightfall. Let's see why. Before you even think about hunting or gathering, you'd have to stay alive. The grasslands of prehistoric East Africa were crawling with apex predators. We're talking giant hyenas, some the size of modern lions. Cave lions bigger than any feline alive today. Leopards, crocodiles, snakes, and even terror birds. Yes, 6-foot-tall murder chickens with beaks like hatchets. And if you think hiding in trees would save you, think again. Saber-toothed cats like Homotherium could climb. So could leopards. You were not safe on the ground, or in the water, or in the trees. Even holes in the earth held danger. Giant monitor lizards lurked in burrows. Venomous insects infested dead logs. Everything you touched, every rock overturned, could trigger a violent, venomous reaction. Recent excavations in Kenya's Olorgesailie Basin show cut marks on hominin bones, possibly from predators dragging them off during sleep. Even the darkness wasn't safe. Hyenas hunt at night. Crocodiles ambush at riverbanks. Lions prowl silently under the stars. The wind, the shadows, the flick of grass. They all meant something. The sound of a twig snapping in the dark could be the last thing you ever hear. Now let's talk about the sun. Not your friendly neighborhood vitamin D provider. We're talking blistering equatorial radiation that cooks the earth and bakes your brain. Without shelter or hydration, heat stroke sets in fast. Your body loses water. Your vision blurs. You stumble. You collapse. According to Dr. Nina Jablonski, a biological anthropologist, early humans evolved sweat glands and dark skin to cope with the sun's assault. But even with these adaptations, prolonged exposure in the midday sun could still be fatal. And you? You're a modern human with no water bottle, no hat, and no idea what shade trees are poisonous to touch. Within hours, your skin blisters, your muscles cramp, and your brain begins to shut down. Prehistoric Africa didn't just challenge your body, it punished your ignorance. Let's say you find a watering hole. Congratulations, you're now bait. Crocodiles? Waiting. Predators? Watching. Pathogens? Swimming invisibly beneath the surface. Recent studies from the Max Planck Institute show that even in pre-agricultural times, early humans were exposed to dangerous parasites and bacteria. Without immunity or antibiotics, even one sip from the wrong pool could mean dysentery, typhoid, or parasite infestation. Infections that are easily treated today would have killed you slowly and painfully. Add to that the fact that you don't know which puddles are contaminated or how to dig a gypsum-filtered seep like the Hadza tribes, and you're drinking from death. Okay, so you're starving. You find berries, maybe roots. They look edible, but you quickly find out that they're not. According to ethnobotanist Dr. Daniel Moorman, indigenous foragers learned to identify thousands of plants, not just by sight, but by smell, season, and geography. In East Africa, some deadly plants mimic safe ones. The jatropha shrub looks harmless, but it destroys and kills your liver. The castor bean plant? Pretty leaves. Contains ricin, one of the deadliest poisons known. Your brain, shaped by processed food and grocery stores, is no match for the forest's trickery. You'd be dead before you even realized your mistake. Want to build a fire? Good luck. Even experienced primitive survivalists struggle with friction-based fire techniques. You need dry wood, the right shape, proper cordage, fine tinder, muscle endurance, and you need it fast. Because the temperature drops fast at night and predators come out when it's dark. Evidence from sites like Gesher Benot Yaakov in Israel show that early humans mastered controlled fire hundreds of thousands of years ago. But it wasn't luck. It was ritual, practice, innovation, and pain. Now try making a stone tool, not just smashing rocks, napping, striking obsidian at the right angle to create a flake sharp enough to cut hide. You've never done it. They did it as children. You're holding a rock. They were holding scalpels. The difference? Life and death. Let's say you survive a few days. You find food, you avoid predators, you light a fire, but now they find you, other humans, and prehistoric humans weren't always friendly. The oldest known massacre site, Nataruk, Kenya, reveals skeletons of 27 early humans killed with clubs, arrows, and blades. Some were tied up before execution. One woman was pregnant. This wasn't random, it was organized violence. Tribal, territorial, brutal. The romantic myth of peaceful, noble savages. It didn't exist here. Groups fought over water, shelter, and food. If you were an outsider or weak, you weren't welcomed. You were erased. Sure, your modern brain is big, but is it prepared? According to neuroanthropologist Dr. John Hawkes, the structure of the modern human brain hasn't changed much in 200,000 years, but the software has. You're wired for modern life, not ancestral danger. You can recall your Netflix password but can't hear a lion breathing downwind. You can text 80 words per minute but can't smell when water's gone bad. You're an apex scroller, not an apex predator. Ancient humans had cultural memory. They passed down hunting routes, fire-making tricks, medicinal plants, and animal behavior through oral tradition, song, and art. You have none of that. You're like a phone with no signal, full of potential, completely useless here. If you had any chance of surviving, it would be this. Find a tribe. Fast. Because prehistoric survival wasn't about being the strongest. It was about cooperation. Bands of early humans, 20 to 30 people, shared knowledge, food, and protection. Tasks were divided, roles were respected, skills were passed down. They knew how to fish with thorns, how to track by scent, how to shape bone into needles, and perhaps most importantly, they shared pain, grief, trauma, loss. These weren't carried alone. They were passed around the fire and lightened together. Alone, you're prey. With others, you're human. But would they accept you? Here's the part you won't believe. Despite the predators, the parasites, the poison, despite the violence and starvation and unforgiving heat, your ancestors survived. Not just survived, they dominated. They made tools, discovered fire, buried their dead. They hunted elephants with wooden spears and crossed rivers filled with monsters. They mapped the sky. They painted the walls of caves with art that still breathes. You're not here by accident. You are the result of a 200,000-year unbroken chain of brutal success. Every scar, every sacrifice, every lesson bled into the next generation until it reached you. And while you might not survive in their world, you carry it in your bones. So next time you complain about Wi-Fi speed, remember, your ancestors outran lions and drank from swamps to give you that luxury. Thank you for watching. Be sure to check out the next video and subscribe to join us as we uncover the wild, forgotten history of the human past.